For me, there's a simple rule in politics. Never, ever be surprised by what happens in politics.
The face of truth is open. The eyes of truth are bright. The lips of truth are ever closed. The head of truth is upright. The breast of truth stands forward. The gaze of truth is straight. Truth has neither fear nor doubt. Truth has patience to wait. The words of truth are touching. The voice of truth is deep. The law of truth is simple. All you sow, you reap. The soul of truth is flaming. The heart of truth is warm. The mind of truth is clear and firm through rain and storm. Facts are only its shadow. Truth stands above all sin. Great be the battle of life. Truth in the end shall win. The image of truth is the cross. Wisdom's message is its rod. The sign of truth is Christ, and the soul of truth is God. Life of truth is eternal. Immortal is its past. Power of truth shall endure. Truth shall hold to the last.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living room. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
It's not often that this happens, so I know that you will understand. Apologies for the late start of this afternoon's broadcast, very much beyond our control. We had some technical issues right here at our studios at VG, which resulted in us having to reschedule our program from the news, which obviously would have affected the commencement time of NewsSpin. Welcome to another edition of the most monitored talk show in the world. My name is Timothy Poleon. We go up until 2 o'clock this afternoon. During the course of the broadcast, your calls at 452-2979, 452-2979, your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, that's 716-2026. And Kimani will be going through some of your comments in the chat room. I see in the chat room somebody's already saying that they are watching or listening to the broadcast from Martinique. So hello to you, Martinique. Sakafet Jodia. Hello to you, watching as well and listening around the world, and in particular you in St. Lucia. What transpired in the House of Assembly yesterday during that sitting? First of all, you had a late start. Late by at least an hour and 7 minutes by my count. And this necessitated an apology from the Speaker of the House of Assembly, Mr. Claudius Francis. So this is his apology. This is how he started the proceedings of the House yesterday.
Good morning, members. And I want to apologize for the late start. We had some technical difficulties with the internet and cameras. These have been rectified to the point where we can start, but not totally in order as yet.
Now the Speaker and parliamentarians made up for the late start, because this was proceedings that certainly was not boring. A little too exciting, if you were to ask me to opine. as far as my observation. But are you surprised? Because I am not. This is the safest bet that anyone who has $5, $10, or $15 can make. That it is obvious, it is predictable that there will be chaos in the St. Lucia House of Assembly. And it is all because there seems to be an urgency on the part of government MPs, and it would appear to be aided and abetted by the Speaker of the House of Assembly. You know, having a 15-2 mandate does not give you the right to abuse the system. It really does not give you the right to set about to prove that you have power at your disposal. Because in the end, that could result in you being hoisted on your own petard. Some kind of explosion can take place at your hands, and you will be the victim. I'm not talking about literal explosion. And this is to the extent what transpired in the House, that we're hearing that, you know, there's a possibility come Friday, the Speaker of the House might rule that henceforth proceedings of the House, for how long I don't know, maybe for an indefinite period, will not be televised, will not be live streamed, because according to him, that is causing certain members of the House, parliamentarians, to play to the gallery. You know, they say every time a monkey sees a camera, it starts to misbehave. And maybe that is what he is alluding to. And so let us listen to the Speaker of the House, Mr. Claudius Francis, saying that between yesterday and Friday, he will be mulling over a particular decision, which could result in you not being able to follow proceedings of the House of Assembly.
One final note, members. On Friday morning, I will rule on whether these proceedings shall continue to be carried live. I will make that ruling when we begin sitting on the live coverage of sittings at the preserve of the presiding officer. And if members are going to use it not to debate.
So, imagine in 2023 what we are hearing from the Speaker of the House. It's as if we're back to the Stone Age, when you're not privy to television set or radio. You could not follow proceedings live, could not follow certain events on television or on radio. It is the responsibility of the Speaker of the House of Assembly to maintain order within the precincts of this august body, the chambers of the House. It's his responsibility. And if things are chaotic, if things are out of hand to the extent that he must contemplate not carrying proceedings of the House live on television or on social media, Facebook, YouTube, etc., it is his fault. And if you do the maths, 15-2, I don't know that it's the opposition MPs who are guilty of using the stage that they have in the House of Assembly and the coverage and the access that people have to the proceedings via television and social media. I don't know that they are the ones who are responsible for the chaos. They are the ones who are responsible for the abuse. And what a day it will be if it comes to that. And whether, because he can do that, whether he can take such a decision, whether you, the St. Lucian public, will accept it. Because I can't imagine the proceedings of the House would be going on in your name. Already you're not being consulted on key issues, the leasing of your ports. Can't imagine that at least you not be given the opportunity to follow the proceedings of the House, to listen to the debate, and to see what decisions are being taken on your behalf. And at least from that perspective, you will be informed of the nitty-gritty of certain issues. And also, you could make an informed opinion on matters relating to bills and resolutions and loans that are being taken in your name. So what do you deduce from that? What would prompt a speaker to take such, or to contemplate taking such drastic decisions? And I've been saying this. Do not believe that the St. Lucia Labour Party, considering its track record over the last 2 years and few months, that it will not take the decision, a drastic decision, to rob you of the opportunity to follow the proceedings of the House for whatever reason or reasons. But I don't buy this about politicians are misusing, or MPs, elected MPs, are misusing the opportunity given to them to make presentations in the House and, as a result, address the people of St. Lucia. I don't see this as something that is so drastic that would warrant the Speaker taking such, similarly, a drastic decision. There's certainly more in the mortar than the pestle as far as this is concerned, but I will leave you to form your own opinion on this. When we open the lines, I'll be able to hear from you regarding the latest developments in the House of Assembly. That should not be so shocking. But let us continue with our analysis of the situation, and let me see if I could speak with a particular individual, because it's important for us to contextualize things and analyze those things properly, and then we'll be able to hear from you, members of the public, those of you who are watching and listening, whether you are in St. Lucia or whether you are in the diaspora. Those are, as we've been hearing time after time, those are very interesting times. And can you imagine that we are still about 2.5 to 3 years away from a general election? What do you anticipate will happen come next year, 2024, 2025, and of course 2026, if we have to go into the general elections when it is constitutionally due? Okay, having difficulty in speaking and contacting that particular individual, so what we'll do right now is to open the lines to take your calls at 452-2979. That's 452-2979. along with your WhatsApp calls and messages. And good afternoon to you, Kimani. Hold on, Kimani, hold on. Think just the individual I was calling. Hello, good afternoon to you. Hi, good afternoon to you, Rick.
Hi, Jim.
Hi, good afternoon. Just trying to get you via WhatsApp. Your take on the possibility that the Speaker can decide the proceedings of the House will not be televised or carried on social media. Your take on this?
All right, allow me the freedom to answer this way. It's not a yes, no quick answer. Yesterday, I said, you asked me a question, and I said, I don't know how to answer a question. Do you think the government can do this, or do you think the government can do that? Remember that?
Yeah.
And I said to you yesterday, the government can do as it damn well pleases.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, the government is telling us that it won an election 15-2, and we have swallowed that without comment, when in fact the government won an election 13 with 2 independents. But it's saying on the record in Hansard that it won the election 15-2. That's not quite true, is it?
Yes, it is not true.
But and
also, there are some people of the belief that the fact that you elect a government into office, you have given them the right to make every decision on your behalf without consultation.
Well, who said they have good reason to believe that, Tim? Allow me the patience because you have to set this up. There is no reason why the government should not believe it has the right to do as it pleases in this country, because we live according to what we call tradition and guidelines and convention, and we never talk about the law. Seldom ever talk about the law, do we?
No, we don't.
Convention, guidelines, tradition. That's what. And if we were to go to the tradition of the house, that's a fish market.
And
anywhere you.
When it suits us, we also make reference to the law. When it suits us.
Oh, well, it seldom suits us because we're more often than not operating outside the goddamn law.
Yeah.
So it's when it suits us. But the worst part of all this, and these are the signals that nature is sending us. Nature is sending us those signals before the tsunami I'm always talking about. When we keep on screwing natural order of things, we don't do anything about it and just live with it and adapt to it. Nature puts a stop to it, and the tsunami is coming. Now, I want to just give you a quote by a guy called George Herbert, who is a poet, but he's generally considered a religious poet from back in the day. And it says this: ignorance allied with power is the most ferocious enemy justice can have. Ignorance allied with power is the most ferocious enemy justice can have. And I read that, and this morning a new thought occurred to me. That ignorance can be applied to the speaker because he has shown himself a number of times to be aware of this. I don't want to go. I think that's well known enough without me having to detail that. But the major ignorance and the major power resides in our hands, we the people, Tim. Am I right?
Yes.
And if we the people are collectively too ignorant to stand up for what is right, as opposed to what is right for the UWP or what is right for the SLP, we will pay the price because that goes contrary to the natural order of things. If we have that power and we don't use that power properly, and we allow some elected guys, most of whom, nobody would give you an argument that they're idiotic.
Not only that, too, according to the Prime Minister, unemployable.
Who said that?
Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre. But he was primarily referring there to opposition politicians, but it could equally apply to politicians on both sides.
You almost threw me off track because that's the second thing in 1 week. I agree with the PM wholeheartedly. Most of our politicians, now and before, unemployable, cannot hold a job. Even our AG, Does our AG have any kind of killikitic lawyers or cases that he won, et cetera, et cetera? But that's the government's lawyer, legal advisor, Tim. How many lawyers, you set me off and you have to give me time. This today. How many lawyers you think have any special respect for our AG? What do you associate legally with our AG? So what kind of advice you think he's giving to Mr. Speaker, who in his own sphere is quite idiotic, and I'm not talking about insurance, I'm talking about where he's sitting now. He's shown no kind of brains whatsoever. He's been wrong on a number of things, arrogantly wrong on a number of things. So you have blind people leading the blind, we're playing games, and the blindest of all is our population that doesn't understand, regardless whether it's the Labour Party or UWP in office, they have to operate in their prime interest has to be justice and the people's rights, that they are people's servants. They have to understand that the kind of arrogance you see all sides talking within the House is disgusting. Nowhere you see that. Anytime now you expect somebody, if any parliamentarian would cross the table now and punch another parliamentarian, nobody would be surprised, and there are some of us who would think it's a great thing. Am I right or wrong?
You're absolutely correct, sir. Because the standards have dropped significantly.
There are no standards.
There
none. Are no,
and we're expecting chaos in the House, and it more than often it happens right before us on television, and we see it. And we have become numb to it the same way we've become numb to the increase in criminal activity in our country.
I mean, you go to Hansard, you read a whole bunch of crap about Facebook, you read a whole bunch of crap about United PAC, you read a whole bunch of crap. I don't know if the Hansard people record everything that goes on in the House, but anybody should sit down and look at Hansard for several years going back. I mean, you will ask, I mean, is that a pig market? Farmer's market? Because there's nothing parliamentarian going on there, and it does not offend us. And even those of us, especially the retirees in the diaspora, a bunch of idiots as well, and the jobs they did were things like economics and whatever. This kind of useless jobs that doesn't get anybody a job. These are overrated soft science jobs. But people think, oh, wonderful, the man had a degree in economics. The man is an ass with an economics degree. A whole bunch of honorary degrees, doctor this and doctor that, which is meaningless. But the people are not savvy enough to know most of those labels, doctor this, are honorary. It's nothing that the people did of use to anybody. It's maybe to some group, some powerful group they served. We don't want to learn those things, and when they are talked about, somebody going to cuss you about your mother. Somebody going to, and they will like it. So back to your question. The Speaker of the House is yesterday talked about the TV live and whatever. Tim, I have written a number of articles, and on your show, I have discussed how the coverage, television live coverage, there are rules, very strict rules, as to how it's conducted in the House of Commons, Australia, New Zealand, all the free countries. There are rules governing the television broadcast of what goes on in the House. How long a camera should stay on who, what it should not focus on, what they should not transmit at all. And and the companies are contracted for years at a time. It's very interesting. I did a lot of research on that. Tim, what do you know about any laws governing live broadcasting in our House? Tell me.
Well, I mean, as far as the...
Let me save you time.
Hold on. As far as the regulations are concerned, the elected parliamentarians, from time to time, they're allowed to go off tangent, primarily because they're given protection.
We are talking about regulations governing live broadcast.
Live broadcast?
There are none, Tim.
No, I'm not aware of any.
There are none. And when you check out the House of Commons, I don't know if Kimani has time to check out what are the rules regarding broadcasting and live broadcasting in the House of Commons that may help you during the show. But I recall when television was first introduced to Parliament, live television, and Sinclair Daniel agreed very reluctantly because those were the days of pressure from George Odlum and his crowd. Those were the days when they hooked up loudspeakers outside the house. Parliament is meant for the members of Parliament. The people who are in the gallery there are there at the
pleasure. Pleasure.
The what?
At the pleasure.
At the pleasure of the speaker.
Mm-hmm.
There ain't no law that says whoever wants to come in the gallery can come. There is no such thing. And the speaker doesn't even have to explain why, or a member doesn't even have to explain why he wants this stranger out. That's what we have. I can find nothing in the standing rules and orders of the House relating to broadcasting. Now, you will notice also when the speaker makes some of his more outrageous statements, he never cites under what section, under what law he's doing that.
Yeah.
So you would have thought that yesterday, when he said he was going to rule on Friday, he would tell the public under what rule under what section, standing rules and orders of the House, he's going to decide whether or not to allow broadcasting. But there's another thing to that. The Speaker, according to the standing orders, has it's his responsibility for the proper conduct of the House.
Yeah.
Now, supposing he says that he believes the TV live broadcasting, that doesn't make any, well, anyway, let me go ahead, is troublesome, it causes problems. Well, he was specific. He said that people were grandstanding and they were calling people's names and but we have rules in the standing orders. Tim, in the standing orders, it makes it very clear that the language of Parliament is English.
And yet still parliamentarians are using Creole.
And more than that, an MP can, with the Speaker's permission, clarify a point in Creole.
Mm-hmm.
So if they think there are people in the House, because, by the way, the people outside the House are not the business of the House, The MPs are not supposed to be addressing people in the gallery, let alone in the House. You see what I'm telling you, Tim? But these guys will come on there and talk, Mr. Speaker, and all that kind of, and he goes into a whole bunch of bullshit in Creole. That is contrary to the rules, Tim. The rules that you can, with the Speaker's permission, you can clarify a thing here and there in Creole. But the language of Parliament is in Creole, is in English. Now, if Alan Shastney, I pick on him deliberately, but to stand up and develop the balls to say, Mr. Speaker, I want to point out to standing rules and orders that English is the language of Parliament and so on and so on. You know what would happen? The whole House would start to boo him. 3/4 of the country would boo him. They would come back to the white man business again. You heard while Philip Pierre yesterday was saying, and in fact denying he made any references to race and all that kind. You heard him on that, right?
Yes, a little bit.
Did you hear the churchman, Joachim? Joachim was talking about slave boats, people with accent and their color, and how stupid St. Lucians are, that if people with accent, and what he's calling a good accent, I'm going to presume is good English, because his English is pretty pathetic. And if he thinks that is what passes for good English, I don't know. But he was talking about accent, color, slave boat, and people are stupid to listen to people who have an accent, that they more believe what a person says if he has an accent. I mean, in the House of Parliament.
And in 2023. And also, Rick, in 2023. Not only in Parliament, but in 2023.
23. Now, let's go back to the TV thing. What a time. An era of information. That Claudius, the Speaker of the House, I don't want to call his name, the Speaker of the House would even entertain the idea of editing what goes on in Parliament, or cutting out totally the broadcasting of Parliament to people who are interested, not only St. Lucians, but maybe entrepreneurs who have an interest. That maybe a bill is being debated with foreign interest. You know what I'm saying? Etc. Like, for example, maybe the Saudis are checking our house, to hear what's going on regarding the money they're supposed to be loaning us.
Yeah.
That's the era we're living in. So Claudius Francis, the Speaker of the House, is going to determine whether those people, St. Lucians in the diaspora, or whoever else, Mr. Speaker, is going to determine this age of information, what you will learn, what you will see firsthand, and what you will not. And the point is, I'm not so sure he doesn't have the authority to do it, because it is his job to keep the conduct of the House civilized. And if he believes that the televising of it in some way is causing the contrary, I'm not so sure he can do it. But I want to say, look how stupid it is when we are operating without rules, when we are putting people in office where they have never shown any sense of discretion, people who go on TV and threaten people on party lines, people who in their own, we know everybody, we would probably not call them the most stable people around, etc. We don't give a damn as the party, whether it's UWP or Labour. Just give the man that. The man did a good job for the party during the election. And I think whether it was Helen at the time or what, can I think of one for the UWP? I can't think of one, I'm sure, but some myself, I'm sure we'll come up with one. But this is the power we give those people, and we make ignorance as if it were a virtue, etc., etc. So it'll be very interesting to see if, in fact, my bet is he's going to just swallow his vomit and go no further with this matter of ruling on the House. My bet is over the weekend, somebody will tell him this is troublesome, leave that alone. And hopefully he's going to have the good sense to leave that alone and just ignore it. Like he has ignored matters of the courts. He go to court and the House never got a report on it. There's nothing in Hansard that he lost the case and the government was required to pay $75,000 in costs. None of that is in Hansard. So the beginning of editing what really goes on in our parliament didn't begin yesterday. It's been going for a while. And the people of St. Lucia who don't want to stand up and say, look, this cannot happen, this will not happen, whether it's Alan Shaston who is Prime Minister or whether it's Philip Pierre, they don't want to do it, then nature will take care of it, will have its course, Tim. You have any more single questions to ask me?
That's it, Rick. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And of course, we'll be getting some more calls from you, various sections of the St. Lucian Society. We hope a government minister will muster the courage to call this afternoon's NewsSpin program as well. Maybe the speaker can also call. I'll be entertaining him as I entertain everyone, whether in St. Lucia or other parts of the world. You are watching NewsSpin on our NewsSpin Facebook page. We are also on YouTube, and you are listening on Power 97.9 FM.
It all started with a penny. For over 85 years, we have invested in our farmers, fishermen, people, and our country. When we were called to serve, we were here. We understand what is valuable to our people and our country. That is why we support all industries, including tourism. We are the bridge towards a brighter future and economic growth. When our people, government, and businesses called upon us, we were here. 85 years later, First National Bank St. Lucia Limited is here for you.
Lazarus's Funeral Home is here for you. Lazarus's Private Cemetery offers a peaceful resting place for your loved ones. With tranquil settings, visitation, and reflection, we believe in the compassionate care of all our departed loved ones. Lazarus's Private Cemetery, let us help you create a final resting place. Make it special. Make it Lazarus's Funeral Home, your friend in a time of need. Payment plans are available for tombs. Call us in Vidbuta at 452-7491 or in New Dock Road, VA4, 454-6555.
Introducing the new Low Select Virtual Service Desk, where one click is your access to every service. From My Account to Streetlight reports, requests for payment arrangements to settle arrears, change of name and address. Easy online forms give you access from anywhere and at any time. Every service you need at your fingertips. Go to our website, luselect.com, and click on the Virtual Service Desk widget. Luselect's Virtual Service Desk. Every solution at your fingertips.
This Black Friday, KFC has a secret seasoned with surprise. A mouth-watering mystery awaits. One day, one chance to claim the taste that's too good to be whispered. Follow the aroma to KFC and uncover a Black Friday treasure. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Things are heating up at the National Farmers and General Workers Credit Union Limited. We've got some red-hot deals just for you with 100% financing. Rev up for some excitement with our incredible vehicle loan offer. Building or renovating, we've got you covered. Or pack up for that ideal getaway. This offer won't be available forever. Visit us today and take advantage of this limited time deal. Don't miss out on these fantastic deals with 100% financing. Only at the National Farmers and General Workers Credit Union Limited. We're your friend when you're in need.
If you suffer with pain from fibromyalgia, lupus, sickle cell anemia, sciatica, or arthritis, luckily because doctor specialists from overseas in St. Lucia will diagnose and treat patients who have been suffering long. Luckily because specialists will treat the symptoms of stroke, brain injuries, spinal cord injuries with shoulders, elbows, knees, back, and neck pain, even plantar fasciitis being a pain of the past. Luckily because specialists in St. Lucia EMG tests will measure the damage in neuromuscular disorders and diabetic neuropathy. Because luckily because Dr. Specialist provides proper diagnosis using the most effective treatment for you to live free of pain.
La Clinique Ducor. Call 451-6559 or 721-9950. La Clinique Ducor, located at number 17 High Street, Castries.
This holiday season flows your trusted guide with giveaways and cash to spread far and wide. Worth over 150,000, you heard right. This Christmas is on us, so you can go wild. Appliances for your home, free laptop or phone, shopping sprees and cash galore. We're covering your holidays with joy for sure, cause when you are with Flow, you win more.
Hey guys, Flow wants you to know this Christmas is on us. Win over $150,000 in cash and prizes when you sign up, bundle up, switch up, pay up, top up, or activate a combo plan. Every day, it's a grand giveaway. Prizes include shopping sprees, appliances, ham, wine, and cold hard cash. This Christmas is on us. Visit in store or online today at discoverflow.co for more info.
Night Meds is your dependable neighborhood pharmacy. You'll notice that upon entry, you are greeted by caring professional staff, attentive to your every need. Your prescriptions are always treated with a high degree of confidentiality, and we pride ourselves on providing speedy, efficient service. We carry a wide array commonly requested over-the-counter products, and our prices are very competitive. We offer blood pressure testing, blood sugar, and cholesterol testing. We're open to fill your prescriptions Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Come visit Sadu's gas station on the Miku Highway or call us at 572-6840 or WhatsApp 461-6840 for more information. Night Meds Pharmacy. We are your community med store.
Automotive Art is a place to start.
Automotive Art is having the mother of all Black Friday sales. Everything is on sale. No exceptions, no exclusions. From Monday 20th to Saturday 25th November, get up to 75% off on rims, tires, tools, accessories, lubricants, car care, and more. Deals galore. It's the mother of all Black Friday sales. Bargains so good, with even extended shopping hours at our Vidbutei Castries store, open until 6 p.m. Monday to Friday and 4 p.m. on Saturday during Black Friday week. Everything is on sale. Only at Automotive Art, Vidbutei Castries, and Latuni Vieux.
It's coming. The brunch of the century. Welcome to Sunburned. Sunday, November 26th. Sunburned. Sunburned. It's coming.
soon. Blast Gaming, powered by the St. Lucia National Lottery, changing lives.
Let's continue with your calls and your WhatsApp messages. We have a WhatsApp call as we say hello and good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air.
Hi, Mr. Poleon, sir. How are you?
Hi, good afternoon to you, Mr. Alan Chastney.
I thought it was very important for me to call in on your show today to express my utter disgust as to what transpired in the House. And I want to make it very clear, not as it pertains to me, but as it pertains to the democracy of our country, and very importantly, the priorities for our country. They had a couple of incidences that took place in the House. The first one was a debate between myself and the Speaker over statements that the Prime Minister was making. So let me make it very, very clear that when a Prime Minister comes to the House, the information that he is providing it's required. It's absolute that he must provide factual information. He's no longer in opposition. He could no longer speculate. He is the Prime Minister. And the Prime Minister was attempting to continue the lie that he had leading up to the elections, where he created significant amount of speculation about DSH and about the amount of land that was leased to TLK. And so the Prime Minister said that there was 1,000 acres of land and that a majority of that land was leased to TLK. That is a categorical lie. And so I was shocked that I had to stand up on 4 occasions and to challenge the Speaker to censor the Prime Minister or get him to alter what he was saying and for him to speak factually, something that the Speaker did not do. There was a second incident in which Joachim Henry, who is a parliamentarian and also a minister of government, was speculating on what I was thinking and what my plans were. Now, he's not allowed to speculate because he's in government. If he has any documents that would show what my government was intending to do, and he wants to opine on that, that's fine. But what he cannot do is to speculate and then to cast aspersions on my character, as Rick had pointed out earlier today, and to bring racism into the day. And I asked the Speaker again to intervene. And to my dismay, to my shock, that the Speaker was agreeing with him. Now, a Speaker of the House is exactly like an umpire. An umpire is a human being. An umpire is going to have biases. But once an umpire is presiding over a game, he's expected to apply the rules evenly to both teams. And clearly, the Speaker seems lacking in that particular area. I was also shocked, I have to say to you, Tim, that the Prime Minister, if you remember, when he was introducing the 2.5% levy, made it very clear that the levy would not be on food. And that he assured everyone that it would not impact the price of food in St. Lucia. Because even he would have known to allow food prices to go up in this environment would really be the death knell for many, many St. Lucian households. And it's just bad policy. So here it is now, 2.5 months later, we now know factually that the 2.5% has affected the food prices negatively, and food prices have gone up. And we're asking the Prime Minister to withdraw the levy. The levy is not working. The levy is having the opposite effect of what it's intending to do. And again, I'm appealing to the St. Lucians that despite us attempting to do this in a logical manner, and the Prime Minister's refusal to make any amendments, there is no other recourse than all of us coming out and marching on November 30th to say no to this 2.5% tax. I also asked the Prime Minister that if in fact he wasn't going to amend the 2.5 or withdraw the 2.5 levy or suspend it, that he ought to consider extending the barrel concession that is right now from November until January to extend it for 6 months. The Prime Minister and also the member from Gros Islet indicated that I never did that. My government never did that. I was able to provide evidence in the House that during COVID, that we did, in fact, give a barrel concession from June of 2020 all the way to February of 2021. And that we, in fact, widened the amount of things that solutions could bring in because we were clearly conscious of what was going on. This government continues to want to try to fool the people of St. Lucia. I think in the process, they're just fooling themselves in that they really care. The fact is, Tim, yesterday's House showed that they don't care. They're going to do what they want to do that's in the best interest of protecting the victory and protecting the comrades. The last thing, Tim, that I have to say is that this attempt by the Speaker of the House to want to censor the House by not allowing the House to be on TV, as solutions have come accustomed to for many generations now. Even the fact that you would consider doing it is a damning thought. No different than the attempt to change the Constitution so that a person has to be born in St. Lucia to be competitive in politics. So now that they're trying to backtrack on it, I want St. Lucians to realize, do not be fooled. I challenge the Speaker of the House to proceed with what he's doing. But even if he decides to change by Friday, all of us must know what is in their mind and what the intention of this government is to suppress every single person who has a voice. The last bastion of democracy we have, of freedom of speech, is in the House. We are constitutionally protected. And to deny the general public and everyone else access to the unedited version of what's taking place in the capital of democracy in our country is disgraceful, it's shameful, and it's downright scary what is taking place in this country. So again, Tim, I'm appealing to all of your listeners, not only for them, but for their friends, their family members, and even their enemies, to convince them to come out to the march on November 30th. This is an opportunity for us to say no to the GPH deal, to say no to the 2.5% levy, to say no to the bullying and the intimidation, say no to what's taking place in the destruction of our democracy in this country. And I'm asking everyone to join us. This is not a United Workers' Party's march. This is a march for the people, the People's Parliament. And there are too many issues in which if we stay silent, this government will continue to believe that our silence is not abdicating, but allowing them to do what they're doing. So I'm appealing to everyone. If we are going to have democracy, we must practice it. There's nothing you can do in life that you can get better at if you don't practice it. We must practice our democracy. We must protect the rights that have been given to us, and we cannot in any way acquiesce to this government.
All right, thank you so much for calling. Just heard there from the leader of the parliamentary opposition and MP for Micoud South, Mr. Alan Chasney. Again, the door is open, the lines are open so that we can hear from anyone, whether you're from St. Lucia or the diaspora, or whether you are the press secretary to the Prime Minister, the communications officer in the office of the Prime Minister, a government minister, or even the Prime Minister himself, who I'm sure is either watching or listening to the broadcast right now. Kimani, what's happening in the chat room?
Someone says politics is not dirty. It's baseless talk and noise to try to get people confused to vote for them. You don't put people in government because of politicking. Nor would any one of us in the right mindset will allow someone to do any work before we know that they are capable and not by talking. Someone says, Tim, when you put people with serious personal issues in power, they become destructive. If we think we see things, wait for elections time in 2 years.
We have a WhatsApp message. Good afternoon to you, Tim. As a young person, it's very disheartening to know that the Speaker of the House would like to put restrictions to what is happening in the House via broadcasting. We, the people of St. Lucia, deserve to hear and be aware of what is happening in our parliament, both here and in the diaspora. And by the way, the Speaker of the House has that right. He can determine whether the proceedings can be televised or not. We have a call. Good afternoon. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air.
Hi, Timothy. How are you doing?
Oh, good afternoon to you, Mr. Peter Josie. Go ahead, please. I'm okay.
You don't miss that beat with that voice, huh?
I can't. I've interviewed on so many occasions.
I called to say something very simple and very straightforward. As a former parliamentarian, I am sure my memory still serves me. The Speaker is not supposed, according to the rules, allow any member of Parliament, any honorable member, to refer to any other member other than by his constituency designation or by the portfolio he holds. So Mr. Alan Shasta, who is now leader of the opposition, if he is being addressed by somebody, Prime Minister or another Minister of Government, he should be referred to as the Honorable Member for Miku South or the Honorable Member or Leader of the Opposition, not that Canadian or this kind of nonsense. And I'll tell you something. I know the Speaker used to follow St. Clair Daniel, Honorable St. Clair Daniel, very closely. And I suspect he knows that Honorable St. Clair Daniel would never allow this kind of language to take place in his parliament. Okay? I was there, and I know of what I speak. So this kind of manger cochon, I call it a manger cochon, and I say deliberately, this is a curse upon the Parliament of St. Lucia. It's a curse upon us. This is not a curse upon Labour or UWP. It's a curse upon all St. Lucians when you downgrade the Parliament to that level. When Alan Shasta had become a politician and Sir John had invited him to become Senator and Minister of Tourism, it was widely circulated. It was widely circulated, Tim, that he was an American citizen. All of a sudden today, I'm hearing that he was a Canadian citizen. I don't know that you can be both at the same time, but maybe I don't know any better. Okay? So, whether he's Canadian or American is immaterial, because Americans do not want their citizens to participate in other people's politics to the point where they become prime ministers and things like that. And the other thing is, the person who started this thing about Alan Shasta and white man and this nonsense about prime minister, they are about 7 years too late or more. Because Alan Shasta was prime minister of St. Lucia for 5 years. Okay? And he started 7.5 years ago. So if he was prime minister for 5 years and he did so much work in the 5 years, these guys have no answer to Alan Shasta. And so what are they going to do? Undo all the work that he did while he was prime minister? And the last point I want to make, Tim, is the point I've made before, and I'll continue repeating it. I learned that from a boy. It doesn't matter how you like a person or dislike that person. Especially if that person has more talent than you, is smarter than you, is brighter than you, dresses better than you. There is only one of that person. So you can do what you want. There's only one Alan Shasta, and there's nothing they can do about it. Nothing. And people some of his supporters refer to him as my prime minister. Okay, I have never done that, but guess what? From today, just to make my point, I will begin to refer to Alan Shasta as my prime minister. I know he's not the prime minister of St. Lucia, but from now on, he is my prime minister. And I will be one of the first persons on the march on the 30th, because St. Lucia is my country, and I have nowhere going. I'm not like some people that come and wave flag and make a lot of noise, and before things get hard, they hightail it, they take a boat, they beg their parents for money, beg their friends, and they hightail it, they take off and run and hide. They make a lot of noise. From the time their party lose, they go and hide in America or Canada or wherever. No, not me. Okay? So I want you to know, Timothy, from today, Alan Shasta is my prime minister. He's not the prime minister of St. Lucia. He's my Prime Minister from today.
Okay.
And that's how I'm going to refer to him anytime I get on Sky FM again.
Okay, thank you
All
so
right?
much. Thank you so much, Mr. Peter Josie. We have a call via WhatsApp. Hello, good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air. Hello.
Hi, good afternoon, Timothy.
Yes.
Hello. Hi, good afternoon, Timothy.
Good afternoon to you, ma'am.
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Hi, Kimani. Good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon.
Timothy, yesterday I was flipping on Facebook and I came across the House of Parliament was in session. And I think the gentleman from Denver North was speaking, and I thought, oh, maybe things has changed. Maybe I should just listen for a minute. So I listened, and then the Prime Minister came on. He ran through his business, ran through it. Then Emma came, same thing. Healy came, same thing. And then it was the Prime Minister again. And Timothy, I have never seen that kind of circus in a parliament before. I have been listening to debates in the parliament from the time I was a child. And I mean, for the speaker to tell GIS to shut the cameras down so he could attack Shastri is ridiculous. For the Prime Minister to turn the House into the market steps was disgusting. I need to know from St. Lucians, how long will we tolerate this mess? How long? How long will we stand for this kind of disrespect in the House of Parliament? So there was no there to do the work of the people. The work he was
Okay.
say that he's the only one who could call election. And for the Prime Minister to think that St. Lucians are dumb and stupid because Shasta is the only one who puts the mess that is going on out, like we don't hear and we don't listen. How long are we going to tolerate this nonsense? I mean, yesterday if you cut me, you wouldn't find a drop of blood. I just need to know, St. Lucians, how long? Are you ready to rise up and take over the parliament and put these people out? It's time that Cornelius Francis needs to go. Timothy, I thought I wasn't upset, but I think I'm still mad. I need to go.
Okay, ma'am, thank you so much for calling from the diaspora. And, of course, we are not looking forward to any kind of uprising, any taking over of the island's parliament. And it's a case of, if you're not satisfied with what is happening, it is your right, your constitutional right as a St. Lucian to speak out. But let us not try to destroy our country. We only have one St. Lucia. Let's use other avenues to get the message across to the St. Lucia government, if we're dissatisfied, that we are dissatisfied. We have another call via WhatsApp from the diaspora. Hello, good afternoon. NewsSpin, you're on the air.
Hello, team. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to Kimani.
Good afternoon to you, caller.
Yeah, team, to me, like, even 2 weeks ago, like, I was listening to your program, and like I hear you say like you don't want nobody to call anybody liar on your show. And look, I just heard Mr. Alan Shastney calling the Prime Minister or the Prime Minister a liar, and you don't stop him and you don't correct him.
So you want to call somebody a liar? If you have the evidence, go ahead. You want to call somebody a liar?
No, whether evidence or not evidence, you just say like you don't want nobody to call people liar on your show.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about evidence. Whether evidence or not, you just don't want it. and I accept it.
Yeah, but caller, let me tell you, in that particular case, if Mr. Shastney is saying that the previous administration did not sell over 1,000 acres of land to Tio Akim for what, less than $1, 99 cents or a dollar?
99 cents or dollar.
Right? And then the Prime Minister is saying that it is a significant amount. He's not, and the leader of the opposition is saying it is just about a little over $100 or 100 acres. Sorry, why shouldn't the speaker clarify this particular issue? Because it appears that there's something to clarify. If one person is saying something, another person is saying something different. You are the speaker. Why shouldn't you clarify it?
I understand you, but the fact that you say you don't know nobody is mean to every single one, whether you are prime minister,
No.
doctor,
But caller,
teacher.
it means I took it. I could be wrong. I took it that the fact that no one is clarifying, that means whatever the prime minister was saying was not true. Somebody should have clarified it, sir. That's what I'm saying to you.
Yeah, but like other people that they have the evidence, and like you say, you just don't want it. Period. You just don't want it.
Okay, so that's why you call. That's why you call the broadcast from overseas to speak to me about. That's what you called necessarily to speak about from overseas.
Okay, I have another thing. Well, we listening and like we hearing you and like we hearing like it's going to everybody and like why it there for certain people and like it's not there for other people. So when come to Josie, he is the first one that mentioned white people, and like I didn't hear nobody speak about it, and now you coming up and say about white people and this and that. They're forgetting too fast. The same Alan Shastney, when he was in in government, check what he do to the people of St. Lucia. The same people of St. Lucia. Check what he do. Within that 5 years, block
but
Parliament. Nobody cannot go to Parliament and listen.
He is no longer the Prime Minister of the country. He is no longer. He has paid a price. I'm just saying to you. I'm just saying to you. He has paid a price for it. Can we just move on? Can we look after the interests of our country now? Hold on, caller. Hold on, and don't allow anybody to do what Alan Shastney did if what he did earlier was wrong. Why shouldn't we allow it?
I understand, but like he too, they cannot come.
Caller, you don't understand.
Let somebody else speak.
Caller, don't tell me you understand because you don't understand. Okay, you really don't understand.
I don't understand.
If something happened before it was wrong, and now let's say it is happening, we have to nip it in the bud. We have to address it, caller. Why say you want to go back and go back? Who is the Prime Minister of this country?
No, but
who is the Prime Minister of St. Lucia, caller? Who is the Prime Minister?
You should.
Caller, who is the Prime Minister of St. Lucia?
When you will ask Peter Josie, you will ask me that.
All right, caller. All right. Thank you so much for calling. Let's see if we have another call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air.
Thank you so much for calling.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Hello.
Hi. Good afternoon to you, caller. You are on the air.
Good afternoon to you, Miss Timothy. I just need to make this contribution.
Mm-hmm.
I was listening to a talk show this morning, and it was said that a minister in the ruling party stated that the opposition speaks too much.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as a young person, I'm saying that is the role of the opposition, to criticize what the ruling party does so that the ruling party would come out with the information that they're looking for. If we're going to say that the opposition, that the opposition is speaking too much, when we think of it, we have only two guys in the opposition. If those two guys given 15 individuals competition, that's to show you. So I find that it's like you want to shut down our democracy. We are St. Lucians and we have a right, and an important right. The opposition suspects something, so they have a right to bring it forward. So when you could say the opposition talks too much, to me, I cannot agree with that. The opposition are free to say whatever they feel like. The ruling party now needs to come out with the information. And this is my contribution, because we have freedom of expression in our society. So for you to say the opposition speaks too much, to me, I cannot support that statement. It's the role of the opposition to speak. It's the role of the opposition to demand answers. And that's my contribution.
Okay. Thank you so much. Let's see if we get some more calls, and then we'll have an update from Kimani. We have another call? Good. I think we've lost that call. Okay, 452-2979, 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages, 716-2026, 716-2026. An update from Kimani as far as what's happening in the chat room.
Someone in the chat room says the opposition is speaking nothing of substance. Another comment, Tim, we are in 2023 and we are allowed to call people liars if they are blatantly lying. Another comment, our tourism industry is under attack and it looks like SLP will destroy it like they did with the banana industry. A YouTube comment, someone says suppress and oppress. Another comment, sorry, but nothing has come out of marching in St. Lucia. We need to take more drastic measures. Someone says, I need Mary Francis to call. I want to hear her take on what Claudius said.
Okay, we have a call from the diaspora. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air. Hello.
Hi, Tim. How are you?
I'm okay, sir. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon. Tim, that is the exact reason why, we have to be very careful who we try to indulge a conversation with. There is a gentleman calling in the basis of trying to get things right. Okay, Tim, you did make that statement. But however, I didn't see anything wrong in terms of, because I have called your show and they have certain latitude you have given me based on the information I am giving you, I am providing, right?
Yeah.
So I don't understand the rationale behind this caller's argument. Now, what I find very, very damning is we tend to want to make a comparison as to Shasta did it, so we can do it too. That is what the argument is, Tim. But it's high time in St. Lucia, Tim, that when you are an accessory to murder, that you also get arrested and get the full punishment as well. You understand where I'm going with that, Tim?
Of course, yeah.
Because you cannot tell me murder is wrong on one side and then you will partake in it. And then when you caught, you say, you know what, but you did it. But that is the very reason why I think the people of St. Lucia voted Shasta out based on his argument, right? Based on his argument. All what the current administration is saying while they were in opposition, that's why the people voted Alan Shasta administration out. My God, if you now in government, shouldn't you be setting the example as to what you were preaching while in opposition?
You ought to be.
Tim, I don't even think that guy is in the diaspora. And if he's in the diaspora, that guy really needs to change his scenery again. Because clearly, he probably changed country, but he's still in the same place. I cannot understand how this guy is trying to make that assertion and try to justify it. It is absurd. What happened in the house yesterday by the Prime Minister, Tim, was just disgusting. Straight up. There is no word for it. We cannot allow such things to keep going on in our country. And we tend to sugarcoat it every time. It's like politicians in St. Lucia, they're inferior to us. I really don't understand the arguments that we keep making. We keep shooting ourselves in the foot all the time just because of those silly politicians. If you want to campaign, go on the market step and campaign. Don't come in the house and campaign. It is, Tim, honestly, Tim, I am so embarrassed by the performance, the lack of performance by this government. It is absurd. Thank you very much, Tim.
Thank you so much for calling from the diaspora. Let us take a little bit of the exchange involving the Prime Minister of St. Lucia, the leader of the opposition, and the Speaker of the House. What transpired in the island's parliament yesterday?
Because he's saying that there was a lease of 1,000 acres, or he's giving the impression that there was 1,000.
No, I never said that.
The fact
there was a qualifying word, most of which.
But it's not even most of which. So the fact is
but that's
only
subjective, isn't it?
190. How could 190 acres be most of 1,000? So that's not impossible. So there was no, not even close to 1,000 acres.
Member for Castries East, please proceed.
So the fact is that if we're going to,
I have
the same
member for Miku South.
to sit down.
I have asked the member for Castries East to proceed.
The same man. The same man. 1,000 acres of land in Viewfort. Most of it for 99 cents per square foot. The same man.
Speaker, on a point of order again.
The same man, Mr. Speaker, wants to say.
Member for Miku South.
The same man.
I have ruled. The member for Castries will proceed.
So he's correct.
I have ruled.
Question your math, Mr. Speaker. The same man put 1,000 acres of land in Viewfort South. Who leased 1,000 acres of land, most of it for 99 cents a square foot. The same man.
Member for Miku South. Member for Castries
acres, Mr. Speaker.
Member for Castries East, yes, hold on.
Inaccurate statement, Mr. Speaker, and I cannot sit in the House, Mr. Speaker, and allow that statement to be made because it is a lie, and the member knows that, Mr. Speaker. So I'm asking you.
Which one? Stranger to the truth. Which one is that? Dead weight too.
The same man who's leased 1,000 acres of land, most of it at 99 cents a square foot, wants to call a solution.
Mr. Speaker,
who
again,
bought a few
Mr.
acres,
Speaker, I have
bought a half acre of land, Mr. Speaker. The same man wants to call
misleading the House.
a non-entity. Wants to call
it not most of the land.
Member for Castries.
You know why he's qualifying the land? Because he's a product of Canada. That's his problem.
Member for Castries.
The same man who is a product of Canada.
Member for Castries East, just hold on. Member, I have ruled on 3 occasions. I will not allow you to raise this issue again.
But I have to, Mr. Speaker.
No, you will not have to. You will take your seat,
and I'm sorry that he's misled you as well. But the reality is, Mr. Speaker, that is not as much as 500 acres.
Member for Miku South, please take your seat.
Mr. Speaker.
Member from Miku South.
I'm asking Mr. Speaker,
please take your seat.
Does the member prove that there was more than 500 acres that was leased?
Member, I'm not going to ask you to take your seat again.
But I'm asking you, Mr. Speaker.
No, I'm not going to ask you again. Do not debate with the presiding officer.
How can you allow a member of the House to mislead the House? How can you do that?
Are you going to take your seat?
No, Mr. Speaker.
Sergeant? Are you going to take your seat?
I'm not taking my seat until you can give me a satisfactory answer.
Member, I have made a ruling.
To come to this House and
please
lead the House
take your seat.
It's a lie, Mr. Speaker, and I'm asking you to stand up.
Members of GIS, under the standing orders, I do have the authority to ask you to turn off your cameras while I'm about to do what I have to do. Please take your seat.
Mr. Speaker, the leader of the opposition does not want to come in this honorable House and listen to argument and listen to fact and defend himself. What he wants to do is go in a safe environment.
What a mix-up, and it occurred in the island's parliament yesterday, involving the Prime Minister, Philippe J. Pierre, the leader of the opposition, Alan Chasney, and the Speaker, Claudius Francis. You are watching NewsSpin right here on our NewsSpin Facebook page. We are also on YouTube, and you're listening to the broadcast on Power 97.9 FM.
There is only one option when they arrive. Our services will make the dead look alive. With Bouteille and Viewfort accessibility. Remember, we have the only private cemetery. No one can match our prices from coffins to corsage. Personalized service you get when Lazarus takes charge. Quality service, no package to make your wallet bleed. Lazarus is your true friend in your time of need.
is my life and I want more. More time, more power. Pay my Lucy Lect bill isn't hard. I pay with credit or debit card. Pay direct to Lucy Lect, my account. I have the power, yeah. Pay online to Lucy Lect, my account. Anywhere, any day, any hour. Lights are on at home. No more standing in line, no more worrying about my bill. Now I'm all paid up. Got more time to chill, yeah, yeah. Pay my Lucy Lect bill isn't hard. I pay with credit or debit card.
Register today to set up Lucelect My Account by going to www.myaccount.lucelect.com on any device. Follow the steps to register and pay your electricity bills directly to Lucelect online and get back to your life. For now, this service is available to customers with domestic accounts only.
It all started with a penny. For over 85 years, we have invested in our farmers, fishermen, people, and our country. When we were called to serve, we were here. We understand what is valuable to our people and our country. That is why we support all industries, including tourism. We are the bridge towards a brighter future and economic growth. When our people, government, and businesses called upon us, we were here. 85 years later, First National Bank St. Lucia Limited is here for you.
This holiday season flows your trusted guide with giveaways and cash to spread far and wide. Worth over 150,000 you heard right. This Christmas is on us so you can go wild. Appliances for your home, laptop or phone, shopping sprees and cash galore. We're covering your holidays with joy for sure, cause when you are with Flow, you win more.
Hey guys, Flow wants you to know this Christmas is on us. Win over $150,000 in cash and prizes when you sign up, bundle up, switch up, pay up, top up, or activate a combo plan. Every day is a grand giveaway. Prizes include shopping sprees, appliances, ham, wine, and cold hard cash. This Christmas is on us. Visit in store or online today at discoverflow.co for more info.
Things are heating up at the National Farmers and General Workers Credit Union Limited. We've got some red-hot deals just for you with 100% financing. Rev up for some excitement with our incredible vehicle loan offer. Building or renovating, we've got you covered. Or pack up for that ideal getaway. This offer won't be available forever. Visit us today and take advantage of this limited time deal. Don't miss out on these fantastic deals with 100% financing. Only at the National Farmers and General Workers Credit Union Limited. We're your friend when you're in need.
Join us at the KFC Recruitment Pop-Up. KFC is searching for enthusiastic team members, supervisors, restaurant managers, delivery drivers, cyclists, and riders. Friday, December 1st at Constitution Park, Castries, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Join the KFC team and receive exceptional training and amazing benefits. Take this opportunity to shape your future with KFC. See you at the Pop-Up.
If you suffer with pain from fibromyalgia, lupus, sickle cell anemia, sciatica, or arthritis, likely because doctor specialists from overseas in St. Lucia will diagnose and treat patients who have been suffering long. Likely because specialists will treat the symptoms of stroke, brain injuries, spinal cord injuries with shoulders, elbows, knees, back, and neck pain, even plantar fasciitis being a pain of the past. Likely because specialists in St. Lucia EMG tests will measure the damage in neuromuscular disorders and diabetic neuropathy, because likely because doctor specialists provides proper diagnosis using the most effective treatment for you to live free of pain.
La Clinique Ducor. Call 451-6559 or 721-9950. La Clinique Ducor, located at number 17 High Street, Castries.
Automotive art is a place to start.
Automotive Art is having the mother of all Black Friday sale. Everything is on sale. No exceptions, no exclusions. From Monday 20th to Saturday 25th November, get up to 75% off on rims, tires, tools, accessories, lubricants, car care, and more. Deals galore. It's the mother of all Black Friday sales. Bargains so good, with even extended shopping hours at our Vidbutei Castries store, open until 6 p.m. Monday to Friday and 4 p.m. on Saturday during Black Friday week. Everything is on sale. Only at Automotive Art, Vidbutei Castries, and Latuni Vieux.
It's coming. The brunch of the century. Welcome to Sunburned. Sunday, November 26th. Sunburned. Sunburned. It's coming.
Coming soon, Blast Gaming, powered by the Solution National Lottery, changing lives.
Kimani, can you keep up with all the negativity that is permeating through our society, and certainly that is being instigated by the political division that we have in the country, the heavily charged rhetoric, and of course the fallout in terms of reaction coming from members of the public via calls, via WhatsApp messages, via discussions, and we do not seem to be making any kind of progress because there doesn't seem to be any lessening of the tension by our politicians. Those people, we reposed our confidence in them, we invested in them, we elect them into office, and they are just messing things up in terms of creating this negative atmosphere. And I think where that exists, we cannot thrive as a people.
I agree. Can I keep up with it? No, I cannot. And I imagine a regular, normal citizen may say the same. It's very, maybe toxic may be a strong word, but I think it's very toxic. Listening to the proceedings in the House where it's just a back and forth, we cannot have a quote-unquote civilized conversation where that person isn't sending power, sending mapui, and that person is just... It's a lot going on.
So why do you think all the fighting is taking place?
That I don't know.
Okay. Let's narrow it down to a couple of things. Position. It's all about power. It is all about money. And it is really R-A-R-E-L-Y about improving the lives of the people of the country.
Maybe it is him.
And I think it's really that.
Really?
It is. Yeah, it's really that, because it's just a foolish contest that is taking place right now, and unfortunately, they are using the parliament to do that. Some people have a grudge. You have an axe to grind. You want to get back at people because you got back at you affected me in one way or the other, and I have to seek my revenge. So that is what is basically happening at this time, and people are still caught in the middle.
The poorest of the poor.
What is really of importance to the ordinary folks who probably don't even watch Parliament, don't watch NewsSpin or listen to the broadcast? Bread and butter issues. How are they going to send their children to school? The impact of the 2.5% on them. Could imagine there are some people who have their businesses, who are vendors, etc., and they cannot ply their trade for an extended period, for late on evenings and so on, because they are so afraid they'll be robbed, they'll be killed, they'll be raped, etc. And those who are in authority should be looking after their interest, the interest of the poor people, the poorest of the poor. They are in Parliament looking after their own interest.
I'd rather having a pissing competition.
Because what it is, I mean, it's not about you, and I've been saying this for years now on this broadcast. It is really not about you. You have sold yourself to the people. You convinced the people that you're the right choice, the right man to be Prime Minister, the right man to be the MP for the Island 17 constituencies, and you are given that opportunity, and you are just wasting it. Because come the next general election, what do you think? And maybe somebody will tell you it's too early. What do you think the people will have to show for that?
I think it is too early.
A few people, what they'll be able to show, that they retired and they got an opportunity to be a consultant. They get thousands of dollars a month. And that's not something to laugh at, you know.
It's not.
It's very, very serious, because that's a game that is being played there. And how many of those poor, unconnected hacks Okay? I mean no disrespect when I say unconnected hacks, whether it's SLP or UWP, but let's focus on the SLP hacks right now. You think how many of them are benefiting? They get the crumbs. Some get absolutely nothing at all. But another set of people, they get to be transferred to government departments, be permanent secretaries and so on, serve in various key positions in government offices. That is their direct reward. You remember just a few weeks ago, a lady was saying, can't remember her name right now, I think her first name may be Sharon. And she was saying, wait your turn.
Ah, right.
You keep complaining and complaining, wait your turn. You think this lady is waiting her turn because she's well connected in the party, the women's arm of the SLP. I think probably she's already benefiting, but you're being asked to wait your turn. It will come at some point in time.
Of St. Vincent also told them to be patient.
I believe the time has come for people to open their eyes, whether it's SLP that's in office or UWP, to see exactly what is happening. Somebody's saying they're like Shazi. I mean, Shazi has been calling NewsSpin for years now, particularly during the reign of the United Workers' Party. All right? And he's gotten his reward. He's now over in Martinique, and he still sees it as his responsibility to call NewsSpin on all the talk shows in St. Lucia. And that is to make the government appear to be a government that is perfect. I think we have to really be cognizant of what is happening right now in our country. Take note. Come tomorrow, be focusing on the same issues involving those politicians and those people who are in leadership position. Come Friday, we're looking forward to how the speaker will rule. And those things have nothing to do as far as improving the quality of life for ordinary St. Lucians who are struggling. Talk of minimum wage, that has not been settled. You have a number of lingering problems. There are problems in the island's health sector, and we are not making any kind of progress. Those who are making progress are the politicians. Just watch them, how they dress in opposition. Watch them when they get into government, how they're dressing, they're sprucing up and all that. I think that is at the heart of the problem. And unfortunately, the ordinary people are being used. Let's see if you have some more comments in the chat room before we conclude the broadcast.
Someone in the chat room says, to all those interested in politics and maybe one day holding a leadership role in politics, please pay attention to what is currently happening. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. The prophet from Barbados should have gone into parliament and pray for PJP. Let's see him and his ministers falling to the ground. Someone says, where will St. Lucia be 2 years from now with this kind of leader? Unless and until the population becomes more educated, the country will continue its downward spiral. Look at Barbados, for example. The citizens are mostly educated, and it shows in the leaders they choose to lead them. Someone says, Rick, do we need a law for this? The people need to know what is happening in their house in real time. It's 2023. Another comment, the live broadcast of Parliament is at the preview of the presiding officer. Someone says, we the people do not know what power they hold as they are blinded by partisan politics but choose to remain silent when their democracy is up for sale. Someone says, March, you have nothing to lose, St. Lucia. By the looks of it, you have already lost. March for the future of St. Lucia. Someone says, the people stay quiet. That's why some things are done by the Labour government. Let's see. When they just came in, Claudia said there will be speakers outside Parliament for the people to hear, and now he wants to shut it down. Look at double standard. What are they afraid of? Someone says, that's the government that promised to put the people first. Someone says an authoritarian government masked as a democracy. So another comment, that is only the beginning because St. Lucians refuse to get off their butts and let their voice be heard. Let's see, isn't this the government of transparency? Why can't we see what is happening in our House of Parliament? What confusion is this? It is really embarrassing at how elected officials who are supposed to represent everyone conduct themselves in this setting. They laugh opposition to avoid talking about what they are doing. A comment from YouTube. And someone in the chat room says, I don't think that's the case. I think it is because they don't want the public to see their wrongdoings. They think this is a one-party state. The speaker is behaving like this is his private matter at his home. We have a right to view what goes on in the House of Parliament live. LOL. So he won't sanction the offending member, but he will punish the rest of the nation by not allowing them to view the debates. That's it in the chat room.
Thank you so much. And finally, our NewsSpin news of the day. The NewsSpin news of the day. Britain to raise minimum wage by 9.8% to £11.44 an hour. And the big question for us, where is our minimum wage in St. Lucia? So once again, the NewsSpin news of the day. Britain to raise minimum wage by 9.8% to £11.44 an hour. That's the broadcast. Thank you so much for watching and listening to another edition of NewsSpin right here on Power 97.9 FM, YouTube, and the NewsSpin Facebook page. Join me this evening, 7 o'clock on DBS Television for the DBS News World and 8:30 Newsmaker Live. Goodbye.